I should just get up and start tripping like that. Throw my hat down and shit. Hey, people go click on that.
That's the intro right there. That's the intro.
Yeah.
Look both ways when you cross that street. Dot your I's and cross your T's. Measure twice, but cut once. Love life, live it up, bruh. The dream is good, do the work too. There ain't nothing you can't work through, and there ain't nothing I can't handle. There ain't nothing I can't handle. I look to the sky, and I thank God that I'm alive. I look to my wife, and I thank God she by my side. I've been through a lot, but I survived. It weighs on my heart from time to time, but there ain't nothing I can't handle.
Peace, big love, big blessings, even bigger living, everything that come with it and everything in between. You are tuned in to Thinking Out Loud with Samuel David. It's just a conversation. And I'm your host, Samuel David. And I got a special guest today. But before I get to my special guest, I want to make sure y'all like and subscribe on the YouTube, Thinking Out Loud with Samuel David Convo. All the social medias, Big Sam 87 or Thinking Out Loud Convo. Tap in, stay tuned in. And if you want to be a sponsor of Thinking Out Loud with Samuel David, if you want to reach more people than your current reach, holla at your boy. All right, enough of all that. I got a special guest today, as is every guest. Every guest is special. That's how that's how you come to this space. But my brother today is super special.
Super.
He's a comedian. I would say he's definitely a community advocate. Like when I see this brother, he's definitely advocating for the city of ours in a major way. He's a father. He is somebody who has turned lemons into lemonade. Oh, right. One of the most productive people that I've seen in real life and in action.
Thank you.
The most amazing, Mr. Pooh Hef.
Oh, man.
What's happening,
man? Thanks, Brody, for the intro, man. I couldn't have done it better myself, man.
I like that.
You didn't say, just tell them how handsome I am, but, you know.
Let them know.
Yeah,
they see it.
Hey, I'm the specialist guest. No, I ain't going to do that. That's a lot of special guests, man. Let's get it, man. I'm honored to be here, though, man, for real, man.
Hey, it's a privilege to have you.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, as I was getting everything tuned up, I was like, you know, I'm probably about to laugh for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, facts.
You're really one of the funniest people I know in real life, bro. And I try to make it a point to tell you that when I see you.
Yeah.
Because you know when you dope.
Right.
It hit a little different when you get a chance to hear it in real life. Yeah, if you trust what they're saying, because everybody's opinion don't matter. But man, my favorite question to start the show off with, Pooh, is how is your spirit?
Man, my spirit is so good right now. I'm telling you, Sam, it's like everything going my way. So my spirit is just hot spirits, man.
Word.
Hey, get the phone going off. You made me put my stuff on.
I made you put your joint up and I don't even. Oh, I done started a video call.
A Skype call.
A Skype call. That is not how we do on Thinking Out Loud.
No.
I'm gonna go all the way mute. No disrespect.
Okay.
But you said you having your way out here.
Yeah, basically, you know what I'm saying. Especially with the comedy scene, I'm doing a lot of shows out of town and just getting a lot of looks, and God just blessing me. So I ain't gonna act like everything is perfect, but you know, I'm coming through the storm. You know what I'm saying. So
yeah.
A nigga can just thank God, man. I don't mean to put God and nigga together, but I mean, I'm thanking God, man.
Hey, man, I don't, you know, some would say if we talking about real niggas, God might be the realest.
God is the realest nigga.
He is the realest.
God a real nigga, man.
You feel me?
I get that tatty. Don't watch God a real nigga.
The realest. That's hard. That's hard. Now, I love how you make it a point to give your reverence to the Most High, man, because I think a lot of things we do, it would be whack to not acknowledge, you know what I'm saying, the things that are greater than us. Because they say don't bury your gifts, and you got yours.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, man, it's exceeding abundantly.
Blessed, yeah. Facts.
So you talk about hitting out of town with the comedy. Man, what is that? What is it like? Because, you know, comedy is a universal language.
In fact,
everybody love to laugh. But regionally, do you find yourself do you switch up the comedy when you're in different spots? Because it hit different. Midwest, Southern.
I don't think it hit no different from region, but ages do. Like I did a show in Junction City, man. That motherfucker was at a bingo hall. It was at a bingo hall, real shit. I promise it was a bingo hall, and everybody there was like 55 and up.
Word.
Yeah, so it was just like I was spitting I was doing my shit, my jokes, and it was just like it was not resonating with them. Worst show today. I mean, I'm gonna get Junction City. I'm sorry. I mean, no, it was just like they were so old they didn't get my jokes. So definitely with age, you know, being a comedian, anytime you do a show, you should ask like, what's the age? What's the target age of this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't think it changed by region. I think it changed by age for sure though.
Knowing your audience.
Yeah, exactly. You got to know your audience.
That's real. Would you say that's one of the bigger learning lessons you learned so far from the planning portion of comedy?
Facts. One of the biggest.
Yeah.
Facts.
As a comedian, is there anything off limits? Because we in the space of like cancel culture. They could get you out the door quick for at least 30 minutes. They ain't for a long time. But like, is there any jokes or any conversation that you like, I ain't touching it?
I try to stay away from gay jokes.
Okay.
I kind of stay away from that. And you know, and if you talking about like as far as the future, I'm never getting dressing like no girl, putting on no girl wigs. That's off limits for me.
Word.
It goes against everything I stand for. And I mean, to each his own, but I'm never doing that. I'm never dressing like a female.
That's not your style
at all. Nah.
You know, I think that's an interesting space, and we just think out loud here, right? And I like to say there's no harm in conversation, especially if it's enlightening and productive in space and whatnot, right? But man, you know, I think that is an interesting thing because I remember growing up like watching Shanae.
Exactly.
Wanda, right? Yeah. They was hilarious.
Yeah, it was funny shit on everything.
So I think some things done in good taste,
right,
with strong intention, it hit different than when it's like, I need to do this to be funny.
Facts. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And some comedians seem like they have to like you don't gotta do it.
You don't gotta do it yet. You know, a lot of niggas just like attention and do anything. Attention is a bigger drug than fentanyl right now.
Talk to us.
It's killing more people than fentanyl. Attention is. It may not kill the body. It might not actually pass away, but it's killing people's mental and what they'll do. A person will do anything for attention, and that's why we seeing all this, you know, this craziness on Facebook and people doing this, people doing that, because it's attention. Attention is that's worth more than money to some people. You know.
So where do you find that balance, bro? Because you know I'm a hip hop artist. If we do the podcast, I eat off people's attention span, right, as you do, right, in the comedy space. Where do you find that balance, bro? Of like, okay, I'm not doing this for clout or for attention, but I'm doing this because I got your attention.
Exactly. I think the balance is just knowing like, this is my profession. This is what I'm doing. I'm not just the person that's just out here seeking attention by doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm a comedian, Pooh Hef, Big Sam, a rapper, Samuel David, the rapper. So we acquire attention. We require attention. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the biggest difference. What you identifying as. Are you having an identity crisis, or are you being, you know, truly yourself?
Yeah.
Or do you just want attention for nothing? You know.
For nothing.
I mean, for nothing. Because that's why we got these women that you know, they get these mouths on them. They turn into hoes because they want attention. You know what I'm saying? Then you got these niggas. They turn into hoes because they want attention. Straight like that, man. I'm a preach now, baby. I'm a preach, man.
Talk about it.
Come on now.
So we talking about the women and attention. I've seen on the internet, man, where they like kind of come for you. The ladies, your past ladies, is like on your head. I seen one, you had your tires slashed.
Oh
man, but you know what I thought was dope in that situation, Pooh, is like, I said it before we started. I said it here. You are naturally a hilarious brother.
Thank you, for sure.
Right. And the way that you turned those lemons into lemonade, where does that come from? Like being able to recognize this situation ain't in my favor, but I'm gonna turn it into mine. Like where did you recognize that gift, bro?
You saying like when in my life did I recognize that
you had the ability to turn shit into sugar?
Man, honestly, just recently. When I just start putting, you know, like events from my life, because people think that I put everything from my life on Facebook. I don't. I put what I want y'all to see. When something bad happened to me and I go live with it and my life be out entertainment, but I can make it funny because I'm naturally funny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of when I noticed, like, okay, everything bad, if it got something to do with a woman and it happens to me and it's bad and I can make it funny, I'm gonna go live with it because it's kind of like a gimmick now.
Okay.
It go right along with my name. They call me Pooh Hef, you know, the women. And now here's the women trouble. So now it's a gimmick. And then now people waiting. People see me like, what a girl done to your shit now. You know, and there's been so much shit that women done before you know, I had the spotlight as a comedian. I could tell you some crazy shit females done to me.
What you doing to them, Pooh?
But
Because I'm seeing a trend, bro. What you doing to them?
Well, number one, I'm putting that wood on them. You know what I'm saying? I do this here. She told you I pick her up. Ah, that's the move. Ah,
that's the move
right there. So I gotta stop that, ladies. If you're watching, don't go crazy.
No, that's why. That's why. So I dug into an insider friend of ours, and I was like, you know, I'm about to have Pooh on the show, and I'm prepared when I come on, but I also like to get some inside scoop on like where should I ask the questions, and it's funny because ladies was one of them,
right,
in the relationship space, man. So like, is there a lady in your life?
Well, there is someone in my life, but I don't know what we doing. We not really. Okay. I care about that person, but as far as you stumped me with that one, nigga. You stumped me with that one, nigga. I was about to plead the fifth on your ass. I was say, I'm not answering.
But you care about her, so you couldn't.
Yeah, you know,
I like that.
There is a certain person I care about. We got a lot of history, and but I don't know if we identifying in a relationship.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And I ain't here to blow up nobody's spot. So don't blame me, ma'am. Don't blame Sam.
That ship didn't fucking sail, Sam.
Well, too late, huh? My fault, brother. My fault. Nah, man. Nah, like I said, though, you are genuinely one of the funniest people I know. And I always enjoy having conversation with you. Right. Another piece that I wanted to ask you about is, as you hitting the road, what are some different learning lessons you learned from different cultures, right? Because it's easy to get trapped at the crib. Right, especially when you get a little bit of love at the crib. It's hard to get love at the crib for one.
Right, fact.
But when you start to get love at the crib, it's easy to get trapped here.
It is.
What keeps you on the road, and what pieces of culture have you picked up on the road, like to further your career?
What keeps me on the road is just the hunger for more. Like, okay, now I'm touching this person. Now this person know who Pooh Hef is. Now, you know, people in this city, because there ain't nothing like stepping on that stage and these people don't know you, and you rock the stage. Now they remember you. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Pooh Hef, I'm gonna remember that name. So that's what kind of it ain't the region for me. It ain't the United States. It's the world.
The world, Craig.
The world, Craig. That's what I'm trying to touch, man. Just like man, a quick story that really impacted me and made me change and really like, man, I gotta change the world. I'm in Walmart, probably about 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, and I'm getting my shit, I'm shopping, whatever. And this, you know, it was people in Walmart crying and shit. And I was like, it was a white woman bawling. I'm like, damn. And then I seen another person, and they was rushing out of Walmart. I said, what the hell going on? You know what I'm saying? So I keep doing my shopping, whatever. This black dude come up to me and he said, man, you hear what happened? This real shopper. He said, man, you hear what happened?
I feel like I ain't supposed to laugh at that story.
Hey, he said, man, you hear what happened? I said, no, what happened? He said, Mike died. I'm like, Mike? So now I'm tripping. I'm like, oh, shit. You talking about Michael Bradley, my best friend, brother? Or you talking about, He said, no, Michael Jackson. And I'm like, hey, it kind of pissed me out because I'm like, nigga. I mean, I was like, damn, Michael Jackson did, but it also was like, hey, it was like, damn, this man made this big of an impact to make white people cry, to make black people cry, Chinese people cry. People that never met this man in their life was crying. Wow. And I said, when I die, I don't want Wichita just to mourn. I want the whole world to mourn.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I was, so when I be doing my thing, moving around, like I'm gonna leave that stamp for my family, my kids, that legacy.
I love that.
And as far as stuff that I picked up, just through different cultures, I think networking.
Yeah.
I think here in Wichita, we lack the willingness to network. And you go to other cities, bigger cities, you shaking hands, meeting friends, everybody's networking, you getting everybody's number, because you never know who somebody can be.
Wow.
So that's my biggest thing that I learned from going to different cities, networking and talking to people you never seen before. And you're like, hey, what's up, bro? You know what I'm saying? Oh, what you do? I do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I got friends to this day from Nashville, Tennessee, St. Louis, Missouri, Omaha, Nebraska, all over. People that I, business people or just street niggas or whatever that I met that we keep in contact to this day.
That's fire. Just on that journey, just naturally being who you are.
Just not exactly.
And picking up on that. No, that's fire. That's fire. I see Stacy from the Wood.
Right.
Called you Pooh Hef.
Right.
So
He got me.
I peeped that story, man, and just again how everything come back full circle. For
Exactly.
you.
Facts.
That's fire.
That's
fire. When you just yourself, man. Speaking of being you, being yourself, I feel like you show up as you no matter where you at.
Yeah. Facts.
Except that news story for the Elsewhere Fest.
Oh yeah.
You was looking real nervous.
Hey, I was nervous. That's the first time. I tell people all the time. I don't know why, man. Like you could put me in front of a camera and I never get nervous.
Yeah.
There's one camera I get nervous in front of, the news camera. Because you can go back, the Elsewhere Fest, I was nervous on that one, and then we did one when I did my show. When we was actually in the studio at Cake News.
Yeah.
I was nervous on that one too. And yeah, I was hella nervous. I ain't gonna lie, man.
What is it about news cameras that get you nervous? Because you a performer, you an artist, man. So why does the news get you nervous?
Man, I think it's because, man, I caught a case and went to prison and it was all over the news. It was. I don't know. I think that's maybe why, I just associate the news with the police
100.
or I'm in trouble, some deep part of that. So it's like, or I'm not supposed to be here in front of this, and I got to get over that because I'm supposed to be there, and it's just like something deep down inside of me. It makes me nervous. Like, oh man, I'm next to this white girl, you know what I'm saying? Doing this story and yeah, but you're right. I was nervous. Facts.
Now it's a little bit of trauma, man, because I know you definitely you had a history, right? And when you go to your Facebook page, first thing you say is gang member, boom, boom, boom,
Right.
on the news article, and then right next to it is where you was at that time, putting on big shows and whatnot.
Right. Facts.
When you had to sit down for your situation, because how long did you sit?
Man,
It was during COVID, too.
yeah, it was horrible.
So I remember you came to the crib and you did one of the interludes for my album.
Facts. Yeah.
So it had to be a little bit after that.
It was a little bit after that.
Damn.
It was a little bit after that.
So sitting down, and you could share if you like, the reason you had to sit down.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you care to share that?
Yeah, I should. The reason I sit down is just having one foot in the street and one foot in comedy. I should have just been straight from comedy, but I was at the scene of a homicide. Somebody was killed, and the police started looking for me. The rollers started looking for me. And instead of just going down there and telling them, like, shit, I don't know nothing, I just kept ducking them. They was looking for me. They going to my mama's house. They going to my auntie's house. They looking for me. It's tough. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not. So what had ended up happening is one of my best friends, man, one of my mentors, one of my big homies, R.I.P. Fat, man, gone but not forgotten, man. He passed away, and so I went to his funeral. And they knew that me and him was close, and they knew that I'd be there. But they actually lose my Snapchat. This is before it was popular for undercovers and stuff to get on your Snapchat.
Yeah,
that's why I read on the news article, and it's another news article. So they was on my Snapchat. So of course I was snapping, at the funeral or whatever. So they tried to get me from the funeral. I was in the car with other parties. We went on a high-speed chase. I jumped out. They caught me. They caught me with a burner, a gun, and yeah, they took me down through there, man. It was, some other things surrounding the case.
For sure. You don't got to get in the
yeah, but they gave me 3 years. They gave me 4 years, but I did 3.
So just so I'm catching the chain of events, right? Because this is a space of like reflection for sure, right? As well as forward movement, man. So you mourning the big homie. Somehow that's hitting your chest.
That's hitting, yeah.
Then they take you.
Yeah.
You got kids at this time.
Yeah, I had a kid on the way at this time,
so you got a baby on the way.
Yeah. And then my baby mama left me in jail. That's whew. Y'all ain't shit. City girls down 500.
So real life though, bro. So you sat down for 3 years. Right after the big homie passed, you got a baby on the way.
Yeah.
What was that experience like, and what did you take away from having to sit down for 3 years for something you didn't do.
Something I didn't do.
Right? What is that? What was that learning experience for you?
It was just like, think. Like, it only take 2 seconds to just think, analyze a situation.
Yeah.
Just think. Had I would have just thought and quit trying to live up to the street code, like, I felt like I was doing something right. I felt like I was a G or living up to the standard by ducking the rollers, not going to talk to them. In all actuality, I could have went down there and sat down and talked to them. Hey, man, I don't know what happened. I didn't see what happened. Stop looking for me.
Word.
It was 2 things would have happened. They would have took me to jail or let me go, but they would have let me go. So if they hadn't been looking for me, I never would have got jammed up with a pistol. I would have been able to move it around how I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? But we so used to trying to live up to the street code of I ain't even talking to the police, whatever. You can go talk to them, tell them you don't know nothing. That's what I should have did. That's the thinking part of it.
Okay.
You know, hey, I don't know nothing. Can y'all stop looking for me? You know what I'm saying? And then it's just handling things as a adult. Before I went to federal penitentiary, I was a kid at mine. I didn't. Everything was just living day by day with me, you know. So sitting it down in the feds, which is a very, very, the tension is high and the respect level is high. So I learned a lot on respect. And number one, I learned planning and executing. Sitting down, write your stuff down. This is what I need to do. This is how I need to do it. And actually set out and execute that. And that's what I brought home with me. So I'm more methodical, you know what I'm saying?
100%. It's irony in that.
Exactly.
Right? Because do you think if you didn't have to sit down for them 3 years, right, get some of that internal, like, okay, let me get my shit together, do you think you would be on the path you are now?
Absolutely not.
No doubt.
Absolutely not. If I could rewind the hands of time and not go to prison, I would still go to prison.
Okay.
Even though I lost out on seeing my son born, even though I got left by somebody I was in love with, it's just like that's what had to happen to me for me to realize and for me to wake up. Like, you know, I gotta handle stuff a certain type of way.
100. Man, you know, when you look at some of the greatest men in history, some of the greatest men in even like biblical sense of things, right? They had to go through some bullshit.
Facts.
You have to go through the wilderness,
right?
To know, for one, can I handle what's about to come to me?
Facts.
Right? Because you could have came out on some bullshit.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't be on this path you on now.
Right.
But bro, to see a meteoric rise, and it's dope, especially in a town like ours, everything's connected.
Exactly.
But you taking it so far past your community, past the hometown, like to the moon, right? Which is really dope to see. So I'm glad you were able to find that piece of yourself.
Right, facts.
Right, because everybody don't get that opportunity. Some niggas just out here lost.
They just lost
with playing follow the leader from somebody even more lost.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, man, I want to continue down this path because the other thing the homie that I reached out to told me to ask you about was gang culture. Right. And I'm not, listen, this is not no case incriminating type situation. It's more so like, yo, knowing that you a grown ass man now.
Right.
And we had an opportunity to speak to some youth.
Right.
And I know you constantly speak to the youth.
Right, facts.
When you speak to the youth, what is a point of some things that you like to make sure they understand? Because, you know, sometimes you got kids.
Yeah.
It be in one ear out the other.
Exactly.
And sometimes we got to go through it to become better. But what are some things you let the kids know to, like, be better young men?
Right. Man, be yourself. Don't follow nobody else. Be yourself and try to figure out what you want to do at a young age. Man, we from Wichita. It's a big gang culture here. So when you go to school, your friends, somebody gonna be affiliated. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, man, I don't want to say just say no because that's cliche and all that. I don't want to say that. You know what I'm saying? No. But man, just be yourself, man. That's what I tell my sons, man. Be yourself. Don't get into gangs. Don't follow. Because really, I'm gonna speak on some real shit. Just being in the streets. You know, I was in the streets since I was 14, and some real shit that I'm gonna say, and from going to federal penitentiary, that kind of woke me up as well. If it ain't, and I'm not saying it's cool to be in none of these gangs either. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. But if it ain't Junior Boys, if it ain't Second Streets, if it ain't Ash Parks or something of that nature, if it's, you know, Bloods, Crips, it's really kind of off-brand because that's from Cali.
Mm-hmm.
We banging them people's shit. You know what I'm saying? We ain't never been on them streets. We ain't never, you know what I'm saying? We banging they shit. No strife to the homies or to people that's in the streets, you know, my blood partners or, you know, my Crip homies or nothing like that.
Yeah.
GD homies, none of that. You know, I respect, you know, we respect the streets. You know what I'm saying? But just going into the feds and seeing, you go in and you say, hey, look, homie, I'm Bloods, I'm Paru, you know what I'm saying? And I say, where you from, homie? You say, I'm from Kansas. And I'm like, okay. A lot of people gonna shun you out, but a lot of people gonna accept you. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people gonna look at you as a send off. And he ain't from the land. I done heard that so many times.
Word.
He ain't from the land. He ain't from send him out. Tell him go do this. Tell him go do that. You gonna have to prove yourself there by doing something to somebody simply because you ain't from Cali and you claiming they shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, man, I just think that the gang culture is. I watched a X-rated interview and he called it a parasitic organization.
Come on, preach to it.
This is a man who was a garden block Crip since he was 12 years old. Went and did 26 years for that, and he getting out and he like, man, don't get in it. And they from the land.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and I can just go on and on about interviews. I've seen OG Paru niggas, OG Crip niggas, and they kind of pushing and preaching the same thing. So
yeah,
I think just kind of coming at them like that may, but at the end of the day, we can only get them because I had people, my uncles, my daddies, I had people tell me this type of stuff from a kid, and I didn't want to hear it because it's like it's coming from somebody. And we even had people come to our school and talk about this shit.
Yeah,
but it's coming from somebody. It's like, oh, they supposed to say that. Nigga ain't trying to hear that. So I think it's hard to reach the youth. Man.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's tough. It's almost like, again, I just go back to a lot of times it takes either an example, like you got to see somebody around you be made an example, or you got to have something wild happen to you.
Right.
Man, I got a bar in one of my songs. I say, man, pull up on Scooney, make it home for dinner all in one swoop. My kids privilege. They got mom and daddy under one roof. Two sides to every story, only one truth. 6 shots from 7 niggas in one coop. Life's quick.
That's like, a hell of a bar.
It's like, you the 7th one, 6 shots, you hit, bro. Like you part of this thing now.
Right.
And I think even as you mentioned, like some of the situations or the gangs that originated here in our town was built off more so community. Right. And brothers trying to build, but then generation after generation, the lineage breaks down, the reasons for creating a community breakdown, and then folks lose the plot. Right. And kind of like you mentioned, man, I got partners from different sections, and I never, let me not say I ain't never judged niggas. I judge some of them. Some of them stupid as hell.
Right. Facts.
Right. Come from both parents, all of that. But I also recognize a lot of times the brotherhood that brothers lack.
Right.
And so it's like with everything has a contradiction to it, which I respect and I get. Man, so you was talking though about even like some of the older cats that you had in your life.
Right.
Now you an adult. We the grown-ups.
Facts. Yeah. We the grown-ups now.
We the grown-ups, right?
Now we understand the shit they was saying.
You feel me? And I think that's even doper. As you grown in your life, Pooh, man, do you find it a struggle for folks to look past your past? Like how do you have to consciously be like, I am not what I was, who I was?
Man, honestly, no, because, well, yes, and that's of course with going to get jobs or trying to get in the door with certain people, you know, business people. They'll go look that up because some people just go Google you and type it up and like, hey, it's saying this about you. Yeah. You know, I've been trying to get that article it's an article on the internet that tells everything, and then people type it up. So yeah, on that aspect, yes, like. But as far as like in the community, man, I can honestly say that people really, you know, accept my change, and you know, the homies that I do still hang with that may be gang members or whatever, when they had these conversations, just as coming home and sit down like, hey, you know, this is what I'm trying to do, and they respect it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had homies, hey, look, You know, I want to come to your show, but I'm funking with these niggas, so I ain't gonna come. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to put you in that situation. Or I want to go to the club with you, or I might see him in the club. What's up, mommy? You know what I'm saying? Talk, yeah, but man, I got some shit going on, so I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying, put you in that situation. So
That's love.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I realized niggas love me. I was headed to the club one time, and one of the homies, older homies, was walking in the parking lot. He said, "Hey, Sam, you might want to go home."
Yeah, facts.
Say less.
You ain't got.
I'm out of here. Right?
Yeah, facts. You ain't gotta say no more.
You don't got to say no more. But one of the reasons I asked about that past things, I seen you had a little bit of strife with Juneteenth.
Right.
I'm trying to get into there, right? And a lot of your history was brought up. I don't know if that's something you want to touch on.
Yeah, I touch on it.
Navigate through.
Yeah, they hit me up on about the Juneteenth, and they was like, "Hey, would you like to be a judge for the beauty? I think it was like the beauty pageant part. Just be a judge, sit on the panel." I was like, for sure. You know, that was an honor to me because Juneteenth is you know, a big event, a prominent Black event commemorating Black history in Wichita. So I was excited. I mean, ecstatic for it. So they sent me they sent me my little, you know, instructions and shit. I was like, hey, I'll buy a little chick. I'm telling her, yeah, I'm just reading these instructions for a little beep. You're gonna have to be quiet. I'm doing this, you know. So I'm doing all that, and man, I hadn't heard nothing from him, and the thing was the next day.
Okay.
So I hit a certain somebody up, and I'm like, hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Am I gonna rehearse with y'all or what? She's like, oh yeah, about that. I got some bad news. I'm gonna call you. I'm like, what? What's the bad news? You know, I'm sipping with the fam right there with like a barbecue. So I'm like, what's the bad news? So she called me and she like, yeah, we were talking and your name came up and somebody was like, heard your name and they like, what? Wasn't he involved with Whoopty Whoop and this and they went to Googling my name and you know what I'm saying. She was like, yeah, so we won't be able to let you in. And I had on speakerphone and I'm around all my girl cousins, you know, they hood and shit. They from Ninth and Grove and shit. You know what I'm saying? So they immediately start going off like, oh, hell no. What do you know? Everybody tripping. And so my whole thing was this, like, anything else I wouldn't have cared. But it hurt because it was from my people. And that's what people didn't get. People seeing me on Facebook talking about Juneteenth, and then I was mad, and people just automatically like, oh, you shouldn't talk about Juneteenth, or that's not right. I'm not demeaning Juneteenth, and I'm not trying to diminish what Juneteenth is.
Word.
I'm not talking bad about Juneteenth. I'm saying I feel like I'm a pillar of the community, and these are our people, and we're preaching second chance. How can we be mad at the white people for shutting doors on me before, you know, because of my past? And my own people was doing it.
Word.
How can we can't even be mad at the white people with that? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was so mad, because it was just my own people that had done it to me. You know what I'm saying? And the director over it, she called me and we did talk. And, you know, she said she'd try to make it right. And, you know, maybe we could do something next year. But where I am right now, I never work with Juneteenth after that. And that's just how I feel, because y'all shut the door on me and y'all said this. So I don't feel like y'all ever accepted me.
Word. So that's got to be a challenge, because again, as you work towards being a better version of you,
right.
You know what I'm saying, and that redemption. But it's also, I think there's that fine line of like, damn, you got to live with some of your previous actions, right? Because you know, even though I think that's the path of redemption, everybody don't always forget. Right. Forget what's done, but everybody don't forget. But man, kind of switching lanes a little bit as we pulling up, right? When did you first know you was funny? It's a real one, right? Like, when did you know you was funny?
Man, bro, I've been knowing I was funny since 3-4 years old. I got a great memory, man. I remember my mama's friends coming over. They in the, you know, living room, listening to music, you know, drinking, playing cards. Hey, Pooh, come in here, y'all. Do that little dance for me. I'm in here. I'm coming in the motherfucker butterflying and bouncing back and forth. They laughing like a motherfucker. I mean, it's just like I've been knowing I was funny. Even when I was little, 'cause my mama, she kind of ordained. My mama and grandma, they kind of they always said it. You're gonna be a comedian when you grow up.
They put that on you.
They put that on me, and even when I remember when Comic View came on, that's how me and my sister knew it was time to go to sleep.
Okay.
We used to stay with my grandma at the time, and my mama, you know, my uncles, they would all be in my grandma's room watching Comic View, and I remember going and actually sneaking, you know, and kind of just looking through the crack in the door, you know, and listening to the jokes, you know, Bruce, and all these people, Bernie, Mac, just starting out, and they on Comic View and they clowning.
Yeah.
And I'm at the door and I hold my last in at the door, but I loved Comic View. But that's how you know, I've been loving comedy from 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
And I always been funny. Like I don't remember not being funny.
That's dope, man. So you got up and did, is that where you got your dance stuff? Like, is that where the dancing started? Because I be watching you dance. I'm like, this man is stiff as hell.
I think,
but he moving.
I really think that's where the dancing started for real. I think it is, because they used to laugh at me, man. Like he ain't got no rhythm, they used to laughing, but they always used to want me to dance.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it came from.
That's fire. That's fire, man. When it comes to comedy, because man, I think a lot of times I've seen, and it may have switched a little bit, but I know a lot of social media comedians was getting flack from like the traditional comedies. They're like, oh, you can't pull off standoff. Then you look up and you see a lot of the social media comedians acting and in movies now, doing stand up. Which one is your favorite? Like doing skits, natural conversation being funny, or like doing stand up comedy? Which one is your favorite bag?
I think my favorite is probably stand up.
Okay.
I think that's my favorite because it's a crowd and you feeling all these laughs and these energy, and it's just like everything. Like I said, like when I get on that stage, it's just like I love attention and all the attention is on me at that. So it stand up, hands down, stand up.
Down. That's fire. That's fire. I'm talking about energy. I know I done some shows, bro. Okay. And I'm rapping. I'm in my bag, and I'm like, oh, these niggas is just looking.
Right. Facts.
Engaged, I got them captivated, but they just looking. Like, what is it like if you've had it happen on stage and it's like, okay, the crowd is here, but they is not moving.
Man, I got two funny guys. Like I told you one.
At the bingo hall.
At the bingo hall, Junction City. And then one was actually right here in Wichita, Kansas, man. And they can vouch for it, man. Broderick Davis, man. It was like his 30th birthday party. I had just started popping in the city. So his girl, Jen, she hit me up. She hired me for the birthday party. So it's at the 30 Plus Lounge then. I go. They buy me hella drinks. I'm throwing drinks back. It's me and my bro Des. Shout out Des the Pro. You know. Man, I'm drunk before I know it though. So I get on stage, and and not to mention, you know what I'm saying, a lot of my homies is into it with some of these people in here. You know what I'm saying. There was a lot of people from, you know,
I'm tracking
the other side, and man, that was my first. Now I'm gonna say that was my first and really only time I damn near got booed.
Hold on.
Yeah, and it's like a nightmare. I don't even like think about that shit. Oh,
bro, so you faded, and the Enemigos is in the building.
Yeah,
so
man.
They already got their guard up. Like, this nigga ain't funny.
This nigga ain't funny. And then there was this woman in the crowd. She was like, "You ain't funny, nigga." I was like, "Hey," and then I fucked up because I'm thinking this is because I'm just now starting comedy, right? So I don't got my come down. Like I'm just like probably like my third stand up. You know what I'm saying? So she like, "You ain't funny, nigga." And I'm forgetting that this is a family event. I'm like, "Bitch, come up here. Let me see what you got." So I hear motherfuckers in the crowd like, "Who you calling a bitch?" You know what I'm saying? And then the woman got up, stood up, and walked up there. I'm looking at her. I'm like, damn. I'm looking at her head to toe. I ain't got no dish for this woman. I'm pissed.
And that's somebody's mama.
It's somebody's mama, man. And I know whose mama it is, but I ain't gonna say whose mama it is. You know what I'm saying? But man, she came to the front. And I was gonna grill her, but she came and she had her hair on fleek. She had a nice little body. She was a good looking old woman. I couldn't say shit about her. I couldn't do nothing but call her a bitch, man.
No, that's when what's your number though?
Yeah, yeah, hey. But I'm ready now though. Something like that happened now, I'm ready. You know, but
Okay.
then I wasn't ready. So yeah, that was probably my worst show to date. Even Junction City, and it was right here in Wichita, Kansas. So now I'm obsessed with preparing myself
I love that.
before a show.
I love that.
Like 2-3 days before a show, I'm just rehearsing. My phone on D&D. I'm in my living room. I got everything off. I got the YouTube sound, making it sound like a crowd, and
100%.
I'm just going in rehearsing my shit so I can just do it with my eyes closed, down to the laugh. You know what I'm saying? Down, you know what I'm saying? And I got shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got something for a haggler. Like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody want to haggle me. This is what I'm saying to them. If it's
100%.
a girl haggler, I'm saying.
Now, I think that's important though, because when we walking in these gifts, a lot of times people think you can just show up. Right. Like even when I do music, when I do a show, sometimes everybody don't pull up to the sound check.
Right.
And I'm like, bro, I take this shit serious. When I would first start preparing to perform, I got the remote in my hand. At this point, I got a mic at the crib just for practice. Right. So I applaud that type of preparation because it takes talent. They say when you play with skills, good luck will happen.
Right.
But when you prepare on top of the skills, sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit.
And I can tell that you're somebody that's thoroughly prepped and prepared.
Gotta be.
Man, and you take your craft serious.
Serious.
Right. Where do you find that balance between like preparation and just letting it flow?
If you prepared enough, man, if you get up there and you got your shit 100% solid, improv is just gonna come. It's just gonna come because you're gonna rock the crowd. Once you get the crowd to laughing, one thing about comedy, once you get that crowd to laughing for a good 5-10 minutes, you can do anything. I ain't gonna lie.
Word.
You can do anything. You ain't gonna lie. You can. I mean, so that's where it just come in. Like I gotta prepare myself, and then it's gonna flow. You know what I'm saying? Like if you come prepared, it's gonna flow, man. It's like, you know, when Steph Curry, you know, he hitting threes, and then next thing you know, he's shooting and turning around and running the other motherfucking way, and they going in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I look at that as like improv too, because you ain't gonna see him shooting no shot and turn the other way. If he you know 0 for 8, he ain't shooting no shot and turning the other way. He waiting to see that motherfucker fall.
Practice.
You know what I'm saying? But he practicing, he ready. And then you go to turning around. So I just think preparation is everything.
Yeah.
That's the balance you got. You got to be prepared.
I love that. I love preparation, man. Preparation prevents. I had a teacher tell me prior preparation prevents poor performance.
I've been wanting to say that shit the whole interview.
It's
a tongue twister.
I stole your
moment. I wasn't even gonna say it on camera. That shit a tongue twister. I don't think I can say it.
Nah, but it's real, man. One of my math teachers back in high school would say that to me because I ain't carrying class. Right? Was you a class clown?
Definitely. All the time. In fact.
To this day.
To this day, man. Yeah. For real.
Yeah, that's dope. So when we look at this city of ours, man, it's like everything is connected. It feels like everybody feel like they know everybody, right? Even the story you just mentioned of getting booed, like, you know, everybody know everybody. Is it ever challenging to you to like remove yourself from, I don't want to shrink it and say local conversation, but remove yourself from like local conversation, right? Of like, yo, don't do that. Don't box me in like that.
Right. Facts.
Is that a conversation you have a lot? Thought rather?
It's a thought, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thought. Definitely a thought. It's like I'm not just in Wichita no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm in many places. Don't, like you said, don't box me in to just Wichita.
For
you
sure.
know, so a couple of months ago, somebody like, you a Wichita comedian. No, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm all over with this shit. I'm not. So yeah, I mean, I hate when people box me into just Wichita, but I love Wichita. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But I'm all over with this shit.
Facts. As you said, you aiming to be as big as Michael Jackson.
As big as Michael Jackson.
Come on, man. So you know, who is your like comedians that have inspired you? Because when I watch you, you know, when you see somebody's gift, you see their talent, you can only see their influence.
Right.
I can't put my finger on it. I'm like, is Mike Epps? I don't know.
Right.
Who's
you probably can't put your finger on it because it's a mix, but you definitely got it. Mike Epps is definitely my overall favorite comedian. Okay. And Mike Epps definitely has left the biggest impact on me because I got to meet him personally. and mess with him personally, and the conversations we had, and just how cool he was, and joking, and not even tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I've done a couple of shows with Mike, and so he just a cool all around nigga.
Is there any game he gave you? Like
Plenty of game, man. Mike gave me the game of don't try to mix. Like when it's a comedy show, that's what you want to be at. You don't want to be at comedy shows / rap shows and mixing. You don't want to be that like that. And you know what? It kind of just it's here lately. It's resonant because I've been taking these shows. I did a show in Omaha, and it was with Lil Boosie and Rob 49. And then you hear doing this comedy, and these people want to see Boosie. They want to see 49. They don't want to see your jokes. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, damn. So after that show, I was like, man, that was a good show. I'm glad, but then I'm gonna start asking people like, hey man, look, is this an all comedy show or is it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he gave me some good game in that, and definitely patience. You know, he just let me know how long he been doing this, man. You know, he told me, man, this is an old game, man. You know, it's been niggas grinding 20 years to get where they get right now. You know what I'm saying? But he said, well, once you get there, you ain't gotta do nothing but stand on stage. He told me, he said, look at Pops, that nigga from Friday, that
John
nigga
Witherspoon.
John Witherspoon. He said that nigga 70 years old standing on stage still doing it.
Word.
So really, the beautiful thing about comedy is I'm still I'm still a young comedian because you got so much longevity in this game. Right. So that's kind of what he gave me. And as far as like you said, you can't put your finger on it. It's Mike Epps, it's Robin Harris, Mike Epps, Robin Harris. I say Richard Pryor, but I don't really emulate him. But I would be like a Mike Epps, Robin Harris, Ricky Smiley mix. You know,
I could see it now.
Yeah, you know, I really love their comedy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I love Robin Harris comedy. I love Ricky Smiley comedy, and Mike Epps will probably be the closest thing to the person I'm looking up to.
For sure. Yeah. So as a student of the game, like what is it about those three that like draws you to appreciate their comedy? Because Baby Kid is one of my favorite movies off top. One of my favorite jokes ever is Mike Epps when he's talking about, of course, when he talk about being in a special needs class.
Right. Facts.
When he do the walk by the room, he's like,
yeah, facts on everything.
And Ricky Smiley, I know we was talking about dressing up as women and stuff, but when he would do the church lady on Comic View, I'd be in tears. So what is it about them three that move you?
Man, Ricky Smiley, man, it's his prank calls. Man. Okay. And if you listen to my prank calls, you hear a lot of Ricky in my shit. Yeah. It's his prank calls when he acting like the old woman or he acting like the nigga that stutter. It's his prank calls because he that. Robin Harris is his stage presence. It's his stage presence. It's just like that nigga commanded the crowd.
Yeah.
And he didn't care. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of Bernie Mac before Bernie Mac.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Robin Harris was Bernie Mac before Bernie Mac. Like I think Bernie Mac probably, if he was allowed to say it, he probably would list him in one because I see so much Robin Harris in him. But yes, it's his commanding the stage. It's just his stage presence, and then Mike S is everything. You know, the nigga been in jail. You know, he battled addictions. I never battled no drug addiction, but it was just like, oh, this dude really from the streets, and he turned his shit around, and now he doing this and being goofy. Because being from the streets and then turning around and being goofy, you know, that's some hard shit to do. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that's gonna really just write you off like, oh, that nigga goofy now. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Type shit, and it ain't like a nigga care about it because, you know, I know what I am. You know what I'm saying? And I know where I'm trying to go. So what somebody got to say about me is at least I'm honestly at that stage in my life where I don't care what people say about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, people gonna talk. Like, man, I know the coolest people in the world. Like, people that I'm like, man, this nigga so cool. And then I hear somebody say something bad about him. I'm like, damn, you can't win. Like, damn, it's just like, you will never get 100% love.
Never.
I think that's unheard of. It's always gonna be somebody in the background hating, throwing dirt on your name.
I always say some will love you, some will hate you, and you can't please everybody.
You can't. That's facts.
So, that's it, man. So you got my mom moving because, you know, it's thinking out loud. So we just been thinking out loud. I noticed a lot of some of the funniest comedians I've seen, like they able to channel like this inner pain thing, like this inner real life thing. And even as you talk about Mike Epps, like he is self-depreciating almost. He talk about the special needs, talk about all the stuff he's been through. When I watch Kevin Hart, you'll hear him talk about his kids and all of the bull crap he had to deal with. Bernie Mac talking about the fan. Like some of the funniest jokes come from like a deep space. Like what's that deep space that you draw from to make the world laugh?
Man, it's just growing up. Growing up in the hood, not having everything that you might have wanted. Dealing with women and jail, prison, just this, coming from, what I'm saying, battling this identity crisis. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to me.
Like for so long you want to be this person, and then you grow up and you like, man, that ain't me at all. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of so I never really drop skits or do jokes that's not relatable. So we can all relate to being in the hood, not having everything you wanted, getting whoopings, facing adversity at school or in the hood or with women. So them was the places I come from. Being left in prison, like I said, I got left. So I got a lot of jokes about females leaving niggas or doing niggas wrong because all that shit hurts. So that's what you said. You coming from the painful place, it all hurts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I think that I never know. Like my pops was in prison a lot growing up.
Okay.
So I never really had nobody. My mama, she was doing all she really could. So I never had nobody to really just take me down to the Bulldogs field and say, "Hey, jump in there. It's my son. He'll make a good running back." And I felt like I was good as a kid in sports. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just never had, that platform to shine on. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's a hurtful place. Like, dang, I wish I could have did that. And I make sure now I do it with my sons. Like, give my son a chance. I got a son that's a linebacker that's good, and I got a son that's a quarterback. He out there doing his thing, and I'm like, fire. He nice, man. You know what I'm saying? And so, but they've been getting their ass whooped. They've been getting their ass whooped, man. But both grades, man. But we gonna get it together, man. But they been getting their ass tore out the frame, man. Yeah.
That's hilarious. So, man, okay, so we talked a little bit about the previous circle you moved around with, right?
Right.
But now I see your circle now is strong.
Strong, yeah.
So
facts.
I see like Marquise Bradley,
Facts.
right? I see Desmond Bryant,
Facts,
right?
yeah.
How important is it for you now to have that circle of like men that true iron sharpening iron,
right?
Lifting each other up. Like, what is that like? How important is that for you?
Man, it's very important, man. It's pivotal because these are the people that's going to keep you on the right track, and these are the people that you can also look to. Like me and Coach Cheese, Marquise Bradley, we've been friends for 20, 25 years, best friends. So seeing him where he's at. He set out, he made a plan, and he executed it. And so it's like, I can go there, I can do this. We from the same place. He ain't have nothing better than I had. So our conversations are always, so we joke around, we fuck off, we do that too, but it's always about progression and moving forward. And then, Dez, he a poet, so he a critical thinker all the time.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The nigga be, shit. We be shooting dice, he be doing poetry and shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's good to have somebody like that around because you like him. You know what I'm saying? Desmond is he's a thinker. 100%. He's thinking all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I can be mad and I call Des like, man, hey man, this bitch just did this, you know what I'm saying? What you think I do? Des on the other one I come, like, well, probably grab your stuff and just, I want to hear that shit. Tell me some gangster shit, dude. I called the wrong nigga.
Rob.
Yeah. Well, he right, though, so you need people like that, because I got people that I could call that tell me to do some shit that'll land me in jail, too. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Then when I calm down from being mad, I'm like, why the fuck I called in? You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, that's real. That's real, man. So some parting questions I want to ask, man. So seeing how far you've made it and knowing your journey is like like you said, you young comedian. It's just getting
Yeah,
started.
just
It's
getting
ill.
started.
I grew up on Comic View like you.
Yeah.
And just last year I seen Bruce
Okay.
live, and I'm like, damn, I grew up watching him.
Grew up watching
And
him.
now he's still getting his thing off, right?
Still,
So from where you are currently, from where you've been, where do you see yourself in the future? Like what's 5 years from now? Affirmation is key.
man, 5
Right.
years from now, I'm gonna be on the big stage.
100%.
5 years from now, I'll be hosting the BET Awards. I'm speaking that into existence.
I like that energy.
And then we can go back. You know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like that's key. 5 years from now, I'm gonna be on that big stage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep pushing. 5 years from now, I'm gonna be full blown. So yeah, mess with me now, because 5 years from now, it's just over with. Because
Price going up.
Because I feel like in my comedy career, I just kept going up, and I feel like I feel like I changed the comedy in Wichita, Kansas. I believe I sparked a movement. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to me.
Because when I started doing comedy, it was 2, maybe 3 comedians. I mean, it was Brandon Wynn. Shout out to Brandon Wynn and Bam. Uncle Bam and Brandon Wynn is the ones who talked to me, and Desmond the Poet Bryant talked me into being a comedian.
Word.
I wasn't even gonna be I wasn't like identifying as a comedian. I was just making funny Facebook statuses. And they was like, man, be a comedian. So Brandon and Bam, they had this group called Ice Cream Vanilla Swirl. Chocolate Vanilla Swirl, that's what it was. With Brandon and Bam, they was Chocolate Vanilla Swirl. That was a group. I don't know why he stopped it. But
that sounds crazy. Chocolate Vanilla Swirl is crazy. Y'all crazy.
Yeah, hey, so they talked me into being a comedian, and I feel like it was Bam. Hold on, let me give credit. Deonde was a comedian too. Mm-hmm. Keywan was a comedian. Mm-hmm. Bam, Keywan, Brandon, and Bam were the only comedians. But with all due respect to them, I don't feel like they had. Brandon and Bam will straight up tell you, we don't do the internet. We stage comedians. We right here. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like when I start doing my internet shit and I start going viral, I sparked a movement in Wichita. Mm. And it was just a lot more people identifying as comedians and getting on the internet and pushing and making skits. And now you got a lot of good comedians. I came back, you got Alonzo Ross.
Shout out
you
to
know what I'm saying? You got all type of comedians, man. I can't even remember their name. My little partner, man, what's his name? Daquan Allen. You know what I'm saying? He taking his hand at comedy. And he good. He funny. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So
and he rap too, don't he?
He rap too. Okay. Yep, he rap too. But he all around talented dude.
Fire.
But man, it's a lot of people, man. I believe I started that movement of internet comedians in Wichita, Kansas, and I definitely can't forget. I was never gonna forget him, but I just wanted to give him a personal shout out to my boy PJ the Great. I came back hilarious. And he was doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, I just felt like I influenced that. I sparked that. I feel like I changed the comedy in Wichita, Kansas. You know what I'm saying?
That's fire.
I just feel like, shoot, I'm a staple because of that.
Off top. Hey, you gotta claim it, man. Sometimes you gotta pop out and claim your shit.
Yeah.
I remember when I was heavy with the music, I would talk my shit and they didn't like it, but it was a lot of truth to it.
Exactly.
But man, everybody you mentioned is hilarious in their own right, man. And shout out to all of them. It's funny. Me and Stu, Big Brandon, right? That's my Virgo brother.
Okay.
I almost want to say we share a birthday. Bam will hit me up every time he got a comedy show going. I gotta pull up. Bam, I'm gonna pull up, I promise. Bro.
Yeah.
Keywan, that's my brother as well. It's been dope to see a lot of their journeys.
Right.
So, like you mentioned, PJ is that man is.
Yeah. He got to keep that news. PJ is best when he dress. I tell him all the time, like, nigga, you the best when you dressing up and don't dress like no bitch, don't dress like no girl, but you the best when you dressing up, doing your karate shit and news you can use. PJ, keep going with that, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? So.
And I think y'all all are important to the culture and the growth. When we look, I always call it the Black Renaissance, right?
Right.
I think there's so many pockets of entertainment, pockets of culture, politics, pockets of business where we really elevate in our city and making our city that much bigger with these gifts and talents. So
right.
y'all all playing a major part, and I love to see it.
No facts.
So the other question I gotta ask, I love to talk about growth.
Right.
I love to talk about reflection. So if you could tell 10 years ago, what would you tell? I don't know how old you are, but what would you tell Pooh
10 years ago?
Yeah.
And I look straight at him and I say, hey, bro, get on your shit. Stop living day to day. Stop blowing your rent money at the casino. Stop nutting in these girls with no condom. Stop, man. Stop running around with these niggas. Stop, just stop and think. No, on a serious note, stop. I would tell myself to just stop and think, make a plan, and execute it. Because 10 years ago, I was still very much lost. 10 years ago, 25, I was grown then and I was lost. I think I had 4 kids 10 years ago. So just baby mama over here, baby mama over there, doing typical shit. So I would just tell myself, like, one day you're going to have to, step into your manhood.
Word.
And so I would tell myself to take my time. Don't worry about what people think, because I still care very much so what people thought about me at 25. You know what I'm saying? I did a lot of shit to impress other people. I would take that all the way out of my repertoire at 25 and just do you, plan, execute, and take care of your business.
I love that. Reflection is key, because I think even if you reflect on 10 years, it's a reminder for now even.
Facts. It is.
Pooh, before we part, anything else you think it's important for the people to know?
Man, look, I think it's important for the people to know, well, y'all already know, I'm getting ready to be in a movie in Dallas, Texas. I'm in a stage play here in Wichita and different little stuff like that. And I just want to urge, one thing I want to say on this interview is shout out to my boy Troy Andrews. Shout out to Bray Films for getting the movies out and all of that. And I want urge people to say, a lot of people say, Pooh, why ain't you in no Bray Film movies? Why ain't you in no Troy Andrews movies? Y'all got to ask them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to ask them, man. I see Bray my nigga though, but I see him. He's like, I got a movie. I'm gonna get you. I got you. You know what I'm saying? That shit. Bray been telling me that shit 5 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand it either. I don't understand how I can go so hard and be the hottest and not be in any a Bray movie. Troy, you just started, so I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you a pass, man. Y'all better change some shit now. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. I won't speak for the brothers, but I know it's a level of like discernment when you got a strong vision,
right?
And you see it a certain way. Because like Joy, my man's
facts.
I'm supposed to be in a whole bunch of different movies. And he's like, I got the one for you. And like, I just pressed him at the Blackout ICT. Like, bro, you good? What's happening? But I know like when you got that vision, it's like even with music, like certain artists I haven't collaborated with, because it's gotta be perfect.
It gotta be facts.
It's gotta be perfect.
I feel that.
And again, I ain't speaking for those two. But I know your level and where you going, you gonna be on one of them ones they great now, where we going.
Right. Facts.
You feel me? So that's dope. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna chop this part, and that's gonna be the intro to the video, so they see that. And it's comedian challenges directors like y'all niggas.
Yeah. Facts. That's gonna be dope. That's how you get them views. I should just get up and start tripping like that. Throw my hat down and shit. Hey, people gonna click on that.
That's the intro right there. That's the intro. Yeah. But nah, Pooh, man, I appreciate you pulling up.
Man, I appreciate you, bro.
And just letting me into your world a little bit, opening up in this space, man. I always tell folks it's the most genuine space I think you can pull up to and just have conversation. We just think out loud.
Facts.
And I'm prayerful. I'm confident that you continue to mash in your space, bro. Continue to level up your comedy, level up with your family, like taking your gifts to the highest of highs. I think you've seen some of the lowest of lows with where you've been. So sky ain't even the limit for you, bro. It's the point of view. And I know,
I like that.
I know what God got for you, bro. I appreciate you to the max.
Man, I appreciate you too. Thanks for having me on the platform,
yes,
man.
Indeed.
This is something I've been wanting to do for years. So yeah, y'all see it.
I like that. Loved ones, this has been Thinking Out Loud with Samuel David with my special guest, Pooh Hefner. We out.